Eric Crawford, Rick Bozich. Let's talk a little bit more about this proposed matchup between Kentucky and Indiana men's basketball. We've been talking about it for years, saying it should happen. Now John Calipari says it will happen 2025 season, but we don't know much beyond that, and the devil is in the details as to where they're going to play, how long the deal is. What do you make of it?
I'm very excited to see it come back. It's a game that goes back to the days of Adolph Rupp, Branch McCracken, Bob Knight, Joe B. Hall. The rivalry was bigger than any coach, bigger than any fan base. It was, it was one of the best rivalries in the game, and TV would love to have it back in their inventory. What I'd like to see is what I wrote about in the column at WDRB.com. Make sure you keep it locally where fans can get there 2 hours away at the most in Indianapolis. Play it up there in Lucas Oil Stadium. It'd be a Final Four type environment. Play it down on the river here in Louisville. Do it like where you divide it right in half, where you got IU fans on one side of the aisle, Kentucky fans on the other. And I also believe for the student experience, every student should have a chance to attend one of those games during their college career, so one in Rupp and one in Assembly Hall. What about you?
You're right. I agree from that fan angle. And I was a young sports writer, but I covered some of those Kentucky-Indiana games in Freedom Hall where they split the tickets right down the middle, and you had that very rarely happens in college basketball where you have half the crowd for one team and half for another. And in that enclosed setting there in Freedom Hall, it was really special. Both sets of cheerleaders, both bands. It was really neat, and good basketball teams. So for the in-person experience, yes, I agree. There should be some games on campus, some games in Indianapolis, games in Louisville. I don't think Louisville fans should object as much as they probably will, because that is a special thing for the arena to have these games. And that's one of the things that made Freedom Hall a special place, that hosted bigger events that weren't always U of L events, but that NCAA tournaments. Kentucky played games there. The venue itself needs big events, and so I think that's a great thing for the city if it's there.
You're right. It's great. It'd be great for the hotels in downtown Louisville. It'd be great for the restaurants in downtown Louisville. It's great for the city of Indianapolis. Back, we both remember, we're really dating ourselves now. There was a thing called the Big Four, and Louisville, Kentucky, Indiana, and Notre Dame fans all went up there, spent the night on Friday night, and then there was a doubleheader on Saturday afternoon, which preceded all these other events we see in college basketball now. And I would love to see that thing come back in some way. I'm not sure it's ever going to happen. And one of the problems is now with teams playing 20 conference games, the flexibility in non-conference scheduling isn't there anymore. But anything that they can do to heighten the fact that this is the best college basketball market, this triangle here in the country, I think it's a win.
Well, and Calipari talked about that. Kentucky does a good job of playing these big national matchups. I mean, they've got North Carolina on the schedule, they got Kansas, they got other people. Those are always big TV games, and that's the other aspect of this. This is a big TV game, and that's what the sport needs. I think college football is starting to figure it out. The NFL's known it forever. You want these big national matchups. In fact, it's not even about your market size. Everybody talks about market size. What was the most watched college football game in the country so far this year? Alabama, Tennessee. Neither of those are a top 5 market, but because of what they are in college football, that's a big game. And because of what Kentucky and Indiana have represented, that's a big game. So this is also a big TV event. There's a lot of good visuals you can create playing around the country, but I don't think any visual is as strong as what they had in Louisville, what they could have in Indianapolis, what they could have on campus. As much as Kentucky fans hated the Watford shot, and Calipari may never personally appear back in Assembly Hall.
I don't think he will.
Let's do the odds. That was a great visual. Do you think John Calipari ever goes back to Assembly Hall for a game?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we're 3 years away from them playing. That would be the 4th year in the contract. That's 7 years away. No,
me neither. Okay.
We'll have plenty of time to do more sports pages before then. Thanks for staying with us. Go to WDRB.com. I've got a column up there now. Thanks for watching.